breakfast this morning. We got Northern Eagle. My buddy Richard. This is a Alaska maple syrup company. Born in Michigan, raised in Alaska. I like syrup in every square. It's like a hot water tank in the back of the truck there. All right, we're here. The power of the camera. Watch them scurry like cockroaches. Got some drums here, don't they? Woo. All right. What's your name and what do you do here?
I'm Chris Elliott, and I manage the woods here.
Okay.
At Goodrich's Maple Farm.
What are you guys about to do?
We're about to fire up and syrup.
So you haven't even lit the boiler yet.
No.
So you'll fire up the boiler, which will fire up the steam rigs.
Yep.
And how much do you guys have to boil?
We got about 5,500 gallons of concentrate.
So this is full of concentrate.
Yep.
What bricks is your concentrate?
This right now is probably 22, 24.
GPS signal lost.
No, that's okay. My GPS signal is lost. So
We don't concentrate real high early season because we get real bad mineral buildup, and we just can't get any amount of runtime on the ROs.
I got you. So how much has this changed your life? Having
Oh, it's huge.
the ability to just go take care of the woods and boil when it's froze, right?
Yep. If
So
we
are you
had
all-
that bulk tank? We would have boiled 5 or 6 times already in the last week or two.
So were you a part of it before the bulk tank was around?
yeah.
So you
We
really,
were going when we were back in Cabot.
so you really appreciate.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Now
We've kind of outgrown that now with the number of taps, right?
you need a bigger bulk tank.
Yeah.
That's what this was. It's kind of like your auxiliary bulk
yeah,
tank.
this little tank on the side is for overnight.
So the bulk tanks really helped. I had a question and I forgot what it was. It was regarding the bulk tank. Oh, are you guys tight in the woods right now? Pretty tight? You got a lot to do yet?
Our average snow depth throughout most of the woods is probably 4 feet. Our north slopes at 5 to 6 feet.
Do you have main lines under snow?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got guys shoveling main lines right now.
That's all they're doing.
Shoveling main lines and finding leaks as they go, but yeah.
I mean, there's no easy way to do that either. You can't exactly run a snowblower through the woods,
No.
especially with the side tie wire and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So it's basically shovel. How many linear feet can a guy shovel per hour?
Depends how deep the main lines are.
That's true.
So some of them are only a couple inches under. Some of them might have had a stick land on them.
So they're really under.
Some of them are.
Some of them you probably can't even find. All right.
Yeah. So that's really slowed us down. Yeah,
I
we'd love
gotcha.
to have vacuum really tight, but you can't.
It actually that snow might end up being a helpful thing if the season gets a little too warm, right?
Doubt it.
No?
Every year we got a lot of snow, we do worse.
Oh, really?
Because we end up working way harder and make less.
That sucks.
So most of our trees, all of our trees here, the roots aren't exposed yet. None of them are welled out.
Gotcha. So, were you around before the MES steam rigs?
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
boiled on flat pans.
How has the boiling with steam helped?
Oh, it's huge.
Look, you can't burn it from what I understand.
Can't burn it. Anybody on the crew can operate these.
And it makes a lot of syrup fast.
Makes a lot of syrup fast. We don't do long days in the sugar house.
Gotcha.
We don't do long days boiling.
That's fair.
It's pretty much about 1-to-1 boiling and cleaning time.
Oh, wow.
In the preparation.
Yeah, somebody was asking me, like, why would you even go with steam for 20,000 on the channel? They were asking me, like, 20,000 taps steam. I'm like, well, it depends on if you want to sleep
Yeah.
or and spend time at home, or if this is like most sugar makers' least favorite thing to do because the money's made in the woods. The faster you can do this, the better.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't often boil longer than 8 hours here.
So tell me about the sensors and what Farm Blocks did to help you out. I know they had some special project you guys called them in for, or something unique.
Yeah, I don't know about anything super unique. This woods is kind of unique.
Gotcha.
Just the layout of this land just worked really good with the farm block system.
Okay.
We were able to cover our whole 4,500 acres that we have set up.
So you have 4,500 acres.
Yeah.
And now did you have sensors before, or?
Some. Yeah.
Okay. Sensors save you time.
Oh, yeah.
So you know where to go. Your crew knows where to go.
Yep.
It actually, would you argue that maybe it makes one guy worth three?
Yeah.
Or I don't know what the number is,
About,
but
yes, could be. Yep. Yeah, having these vacuum sensors is huge. And the way we've used them in the past, because we got 1,700 main lines. That's a lot.
1,700 main lines?
Yeah, approximately.
So did you try to put a sensor in each one? A sensor? Okay.
So to begin with, we put one at the top of every one of our wet-dry systems,
Okay.
of which we have, I don't know, it might be 90, I think, now.
90 wet dry systems?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that allows us to narrow it down by a couple of tabs.
I got you.
You know, it's not perfect. It doesn't give us the frozen up main line all through.
So this is like phase one.
Yeah.
Let's just have information we can use.
Yep.
Okay.
So, you know, without that, we get nowhere to start. So what do? You start at the bottom of the hill, you work your way to the top. When you get there, you come back around and start at the bottom again.
Now, do you guys have...
We can narrow it down by a couple thousand tabs.
I got you. Now, do you have access, like, by ATV to pretty much get all the way around the laterals?
No.
No?
No.
So how...
For the most part, we can get to the bottom of every wet dry.
Okay, and then it's, you got to hike.
And on snow level, you can get up them to a point.
Well, those guys, I mean, I got these. You know, I could probably walk where they shoveled. Not even that?
No, I bet not.
Oh, jeez.
No. We've been on snowshoes since the second week of December.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, I don't mind going on snowshoes. It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, as long as they make them for a huscular guy like me, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool, snowshoeing.
Yeah, I do too for a week, and after the second month, it gets pretty old.
Yeah, after the second day,
Yeah.
probably gets pretty old.
Yeah. No, this is deep snow territory.
Are you guys all tapped?
Yeah.
So, was this the hardest year tapping that you remember?
Yep. Yep. This is the most snow we've had since 2019, and we have over double the taps.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, how many are in your crew?
We got 12.
12? Yeah. So, and they're out there right now.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yep. So we got a few in here getting stuff ready to fire up today, but most of them are in the woods.
So it's hard even all of the benefits of the farm block systems this year have been basically as a whole, as a team, the snow has almost made it a more difficult year, even though you have information.
Yep.
I got you.
Yep. But if we didn't have it, it would be harder still.
I got you.
You know, because we just wouldn't know where to go.
So what would you say the woods, as far as like percentage, like where are you at? If 100% is perfect, where are you at?
60 to 70.
Okay. Well, you're on the better side of you're almost getting a C.
Yeah, but that last 40
is the most.
That last 40 takes the longest.
It does.
You know, it's easy to go from wherever you start at to 25 inches.
Right.
Because that's the big stuff. 25 to 28 takes way longer.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Do you guys have loop saddles out there on your valves?
No.
Man, I can't believe I just found out what a loop saddle was.
Yeah.
Somebody explained it to me once, and I'm just like, I don't get it at all. And then Dan Crocker showed me.
Yeah. We'll definitely be putting some in strategic areas.
Sure.
We got some places where, you know, I can reach the valve, but some of the guys, maybe they can reach the valve, but they can't put their ear to the pipe.
Gotcha.
Or inevitably, the conductor system runs right up along a brook.
Gotcha.
Waters rush in, you can't hear it.
That's true. It allows you to use your eyes. Now, Chris, do you guys have like a monitoring, like a TV screen or something in here that has the, like, what's going on with the...
Oh, we got a laptop in there.
Okay.
Sensors, yeah.
Yeah, can we take a look at it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I guess we got about 50.
You got more room. You got more room. You got another couple 100 gallons you could put in there.
He's got some to concentrate in.
I got
while
you.
we're boiling. No point in cooling it down just to heat it back up.
Oh, yeah. So this is kind of how you check your system?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could put this up on the TV, but we all got it on our phones, too.
I got you.
Yeah. One of the things I like about the farm.
Plus, the more that Glenn sees, the more you're going to have to do.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
keep it a secret.
He just keeps an eye on the tank.
I got you.
Yeah, one of the things I like about farm blocks,
So-
especially for our big woods, it's really easy to break things down.
Got you.
Because we got, say, 90 wet-dry systems. If we get 1,700 main lines online, you can't be scrolling down through 1 through 1,700. You know, that's impossible.
Right.
So I can tell a couple guys, all right, you look at these 10 systems, you look at these 10 systems, pick out the worst ones, that's where you're going tomorrow.
Gotcha.
And it's easy to just segregate them out and pull up just what you want to see.
Yeah. That's true. You couldn't really even sort through the data.
Yeah, that becomes a challenge. If it's 100, that's whatever. But when you start talking about thousands of sensors, it becomes a challenge. So this is our dashboard. So just for example, we got the A system. On the A system, there's 17 separate conductors.
Gotcha.
And approximately 33,000 taps.
And this is all on your phone too?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. The B system has 10 systems, 20,000 taps. C system has 17, about 35,000 taps.
I got you.
So that all runs to the
A
main
system, B system, C,
C
system.
system. Yep.
20,000 taps on B.
Yep. 33 on C, 33-ish on A. D and E come here.
You
to
have
the sugar house.
355 low vacuum
Yeah.
pressure alerts?
There's a lot of main.
Oh, that's
lines and
alerts,
stuff.
not systems or
Yeah.
sensors.
How many sensors do you think you have out there now?
I think it's about 600.
Phew.
Yeah. We got the A system totally covered with main lines, and then one on every.
But you can totally see the benefit, and your team can.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good. For most people watching, the return on investment, I would say, with the monitoring is pretty
yeah.
quick. And all of the things we think are happening, we're wrong about.
Yeah.
That's what we learned.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My dad and I used to argue about what was happening in the tubing, and then we got sensors, and we go, we're both wrong.
Yeah. And you know, monitoring can be for anybody. You don't have to be big. Even if you got just a couple woods, 1,000 taps.
It's the tanks, the peace of
The
mind.
tanks, knowing what's going on with your releaser, even if you just have monitoring at your pump station. That's huge.
Do you know what they're really selling, farm blocks? Sleep.
Yeah.
They're really selling sleep.
Yep. Yep.
They're not selling sensors, they're selling sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. So we really like our tank monitors.
Yeah.
We have-
Okay, cool. Shows you like over time.
What's
Yep.
happening? What's the orange? And different tanks?
Right. Yep.
This tank got emptied.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's a sugar house tank. So it was concentrated out of last evening.
Oh my gosh, how many tanks are on there?
8.
I got you.
So we got 2 tanks at our main pump station.
100% is really probably set at what, 90,
Yeah.
95?
Yep. Yep. And we got a tank monitor on each of the 5 tanks out here.
Got you.
We got a new station across the field, which pumps up here. That's got a monitor. I guess that's
Cool. Man, I
But-
appreciate it.
really critical at our main station. We got 2 7,000-gallon tanks there for 100,000 taps.
That's not following the typical rule of 1 gallon per tap.
No, we don't even have a half a gallon per tap here total.
Wow. Well, you don't want to overdo it
That bulk tank makes up for it. Once it
because
gets
you're
concentrated,
concentrating without the
it's a
ROs.
huge amount of
What
storage.
do you guys do if you lose power?
We got generators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a generator.
Yeah, he's just playing it
And
different.
this is on a main 3-phase line. We've
Gotcha.
never lost power here, but we got a generator now.
Yeah, this is, what do you call it? You guys aren't, this is serious business. This is your livelihood.
Yeah.
It's not a hobby.
Right. Yeah,
Serious
beyond
business.
that.
Cool, man. So, what was that you were just saying about boiling? This is your second
This will be our first boil since January 1st.
Okay, so you had
January
December sap.
January 1st was all December sap.
I got you.
Yeah. We had probably 45,000 taps then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this will be your first boil since January, huh?
Yep.
So we're sitting March.
This is fairly late for that, even for us. Usually we make a little bit in February.
So
I thought.
we figured out yesterday, because everybody's up in arms and a little nervous about, I had this much made since last year, but the humans invented the calendar. We did not tell the moon what to do. So last year, Easter was March 31st.
Yeah.
This year, Easter's on 4/20.
Yeah.
There's a 20-day difference.
Yeah.
And where the moon's at, I don't know if that has much to do with it.
We're ready to start filling.
You ready?
Coming up on pressure. Okay.
Cool. Oh, we got steam coming. We got steam rising. Here we go, baby. Getting a little bubbles.
There. That's loosened it. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Okay. I kept thinking that fitting. Okay. Yep.
Starting to rumble a little bit.
Yeah.
I hear the expansion. Blub, blub. So these are MES. What size are these rigs, Chris? They're
6x10.
6x10s. I think this is his number one selling size is a 6x10.
It can do pretty much anything depending on what you put behind it for a boiler.
I got you.
Yeah.
But also, aren't you guys making like 350 gallons? Is this 350 an hour, pretty much?
At 30 bricks, we'll make 400
Okay.
each.
Jeez. So 800 gallons an hour between the two rigs.
Yeah. We ever bump it up to 32, it really gets...
One of the most interesting benefits is you and I can have a conversation right next to it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I had no idea these things were rolling.
Yep. Another thing that's nice, we get rid of air pumps for moving syrup. We still got the air pumps on filter press.
Oh, you guys are using...
We move the syrup over to the filter station with electric pump.
I got you. Are they three-phase?
Flick a switch.
But you guys have like a special pump, right? A special Golds pump?
I don't think there's anything that special about it.
Got you. But they're Golds pumps, right?
Yep.
So this guy down here is what's moving syrup.
That's our acid pump.
Oh,
This one over here.
we got to get a shot of that. That's the part number and stuff. So this is a syrup pump,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
I like that's a farm job if I ever seen one right there, buddy. Defoamer's rolling.
Yep. Really rolling.
One of the things that Glenn does differently that I think is pretty cool is a lot of people use head tanks to feed their evaporator. But these guys actually use a sensor. Let me show you. And these are feeding the evaporators. So this is essentially their head tank. So this concentrate tank feeds a pump, and the pumps go up and over. And when this calls for sap, it's actually coming from this pump. So it makes better quality syrup because if you have a concentrate tank up in the air, it's hotter typically. Heat rises. So most of us have a head tank in a sugar house, and that head tank is in a warm area with concentrated sap, which is what you want if you're fermenting something. We don't want to ferment something, but the system here is a little unique. And on the pumps, they buy special impellers for this. Because I think it stays on. And then there's a valve on the other side, so it's not creating, it's like a low pressure system. So this is the pump system. And then on the other side, there's a valve right there that'll turn on when it calls for it. So this is the probe that'll tell it to open and close the valve.
Yep.
Probably have a low limit, high limit.
When the sap contacts it, it shuts it off. When there's no sap on it,
It's real simple.
It's
Real simple. I've never seen anything like that where there's no head tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unique.
Yep. Yeah. So we pump it in under.
Does that
pressure.
pump stay on
Yeah.
constantly?
So
That's
it's
right.
open impeller pump.
Open impeller pump. That's the information I was looking for. So this is interesting.
Everything on immediately.
You didn't have much on, or you had one row?
Yeah, just a couple on the bottom.
Oh, so that was boiling with a couple open.
If we turned everything on at once, we would
It would overflow it.
probably just blow steam out.
I got you.
We just changed all the check valves. We got a couple of leaks.
The check valves had a seal in them.
A lot of them,
Well, it's been they gave you 4 years.
yeah.
So he's actually turning steam on little by little. Otherwise, it would just boil out everywhere. So this is a startup on a steam rig.
Yeah, the old check valve just started cracking and splitting.
Yeah.
Can't have that. We're running about 30% fire.
30% of fire,
Low fire.
low fire. All right, here with Nicole. And Nicole is, I saw you getting all the filter presses ready.
Yep.
And you're going to be operating, you don't know where you're operating today, but I saw you getting sample bottles. What is it that you do?
So basically, I just fill in wherever I'm needed. Most of the time, I'm in the woods. I grew up sugaring. My dad has a sugar bush.
Okay.
I've done this my whole life.
So you grew up in Vermont here.
Yep.
Okay.
Vermont. I grew up in Waterville, which is 10 minutes from here.
So you can spell maple.
Yeah.
You know.
I can smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to be running filter presses maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, I'm putting the numbers on the bottles, so that will match the barrel.
And it gets really busy once syrup starts coming off the evaporator,
yeah,
right?
It is.
I knew I had to catch you before
Yeah.
syrup was coming, but
Yeah. When syrup starts coming, it's, I don't know, probably every 5 minutes we're switching out barrels. So
Nicole, what's your favorite thing about maple?
the job or the
No, just maple in general. Like camaraderie, family.
probably family and the community within the maple industry. We all know each other.
Yep.
We all help each other. There's a lot of respect in the maple industry, so that's nice. Because I've been in other industries. I was a hoof trimmer, and it's not the same.
That's kind of a dangerous job, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
They can kick you and move.
Got carpal tunnel, so I had to stop.
Oh yeah, that's real work.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I appreciate it. Nice meeting you, Nicole.
Nice to meet you.
They'd have to make a much bigger door for me to get in there.
Sliding door.
Yeah.
Or
You'd have to lift the hood.
yeah.
I couldn't get in through there.
Well, it's interesting. When I designed this facility, I didn't know we were going to do this. I knew we were going to do the flat pan evaporators. And I said, how tall of a ceiling do we really need? And to make 10-foot walls was much more economical than 12. So I stretched it all I could. We made 10-foot studs, double bottom plate, double top plate, and so we get 10-foot 6
Gotcha.
for ceiling. And now we wish we had a little.
I mean, even stacking things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Pallet racking.
yep, that's how it goes.
Yep.
We built it twice as high as we could afford, and had enough to use.
We all do it. We all do it.
Yeah.
And then you get a forklift,
Yeah.
and then you realize what you can actually accomplish with something like this. It's a whole new world.
Yeah, this is just a behemoth of an electric forklift.
10,000 pounds, easy, right?
It's rated for 8,000,
Okay.
but I lifted 2 totes full with it just to see if it works.
Sure.
No problem. I didn't dare drive it around.
You didn't do a brake check.
No, I just, we could break the floor somewhere.
That's a good point.
It's a high point load.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So,
So where are you thinking on a tanker there, Glenn?
yeah, no problem to do it.
Sure.
Uh,
Where would you park it?
Print the dock.
And then just run a hose and
Yep.
heck yeah.
Yep.
Did you guys have a chance to reach out to your vendor?
My daughter and son-in-law are doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't know the information they've got.
You got something going on over here, you know.
Yeah, a little bit. They talk about too many irons in the fire.
Yeah.
That's not my problem. The problem is I got no fire.
You got a lot of irons and no fire.
Right.
Yeah. You got a good crew here.
We do. Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing I've noticed is you got a good team.
Yeah. Each one has a level sensor on it. And make yourself call. I'm going to check the toilet.
Yeah, I'll go take a look at those sensors real quick. There we go. Farm blocks. Level sensor. Farm blocks. Level sensors. So they got level sensors all the way down. Look at these babies. They'll go in some snow, huh?
These things are sweet.
I don't even know what brand it is. Can-Am. This one's not even dirty. Look at this bad boy. They need to throw Nate in the back so we can go get some footage. This is another guy, huh? Just got the extra bed. Is it a different size machine? Looks like it was designed for multiple wheels and they just threw one of these bad boys on there. You know, I always wonder if they build the power steering control strong enough for this. You know, because it wasn't designed for all of that surface area to turn. Mm-hmm. But they're probably starting to build these with the ability to turn.
The way the back is here, it's like they almost have to have.
Yeah, these are aftermarket.
The Apache 360 LT.
They're definitely, because it would have had a tire here and a tire here.
I've never seen a four-wheeler like that.
Oh, it's Can-Am, so it is their own.
Yeah.
Their own it's Can-Am 6x6.
So they probably maybe swap tires, just leave it. I don't know.
I've never seen one like this, so I gotta believe that it was meant to be like that. Because that's how I've seen them, where it almost looks like there's 2 axles.
Oh yeah, it had 2 wheels. It definitely had. This was a 6x6. So I would say they had one. There's universal there. Pretty hefty unit. How many? What percentage valves you got open? About half?
Oh no, we're on full.
You have full? Making soup. Chris is making soup. Huh. You got 2. You got like a.
Yep. So
That's the big boy.
yep. A lot easier
Sample
to.
port, yeah, without
sample.
splashing everywhere.
And then when we're getting rolling, we can just let a little trickle like that come through, just to keep things moving.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest mistakes I think most of us make.
Direction. And you can end up with syrup back,
Yeah,
not in the front.
yeah.
You just wait on the auto draw.
On the first boil for sure. Well, we always would take a couple pails and then throw them back.
Yeah, it's the same idea.
Yeah. Except you're moving so much, just run it right here.
Yep, they'll balance out.
So let me see your little cup here. What do you got?
Oh, it's just
This is your little hydrometer hider.
holder. Yep.
Huh.
Yep.
How do you get water in there?
Oh,
Oh, I got you. You even got a drain port.
yep.
Look at that. Hydrometer cup holder with a homemade drain port. You can spray it out.
Yeah, that's pretty farmered up still.
I like it. I like it. It's rolling, baby.
Amazing how much slower it is boiling 22%. I know
You're spoiled.
a lot of people, 22%, 24% is as high as they go.
And you guys can go up to 30, right?
If we usually boil 30.
Gotcha.
The difference between 30 and 22, 24 is huge.
What's
30% were really hot.
That's a pretty good stream of syrup. Diesel over here.
He's got them all open, folks. You typically need to run both of your 6x10s
6x10, yeah.
because of your boiler. It's a 400 horse.
Yep, it was sized. Our boiler was sized to run 2 evaporators at the same time. 2 of these 6.
What happens if you only run one?
We only run one. The boiler, it'll just reach the high pressure shut off.
I got you. It'll fire
Yeah.
on and off, on and off. It'll cycle.
It's not a big deal, but
They're not really designed to do that.
Using a V8 for V6 stuff.
I got you. Now, how much fuel oil does your 400 horse boiler use an hour?
Oh, geez, that's a good question.
I
It's
just-
a lot.
Yeah, it's like 55, I'll bet.
It's a lot, yeah. But our fuel usage, boiling 30 bricks, is, I believe we average out about 0.18 gallons of fuel per gallon of oil.
I got you.
Gallons of oil per gallon of syrup.
You're less than 2/10 of a gallon of fuel oil per gallon of syrup.
Yep.
All right, I got you. So if you make a drum of syrup, a 55-gallon drum of syrup, it'd be 0.18 times 55. I got you. I mean, we could figure it out, huh?
Yeah.
Because if you can run how many gallons an hour off an evaporator?
When we're boiling 30 bricks, each one of these will do 400 gallons an hour.
All right, so you can do 800 gallons
Do
an
800
hour,
gallons an hour. Yeah.
and if you multiply that by 0.18, what is that? It's like pretty much 0.2. So 20 gallons of oil an hour or 200?
I can't do that in my head.
Yeah. I'll put it on the screen. That's what I always do
Right.
after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. This is good content, Glenn.
Oh, God. I can't get a shot of steam coming out the room.
Yeah, I see that.
I have to get it really hot in here. Come back.
When you get it, we might fly the drone over too.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Good content make our syrup worth more?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, always.
This can answer pretty impressive.
This thing's a beast. Sweet.
Yeah, so this is our E-System pump station. This is the last taps that we've installed, and it'll be the last that we do up here.
Then you got this cool new release you're going to show
Yeah,
me.
we got a D&G hybrid mechanical releaser here.
First one in the States, I hear.
I believe so, yeah. Not sure on that, but we think so.
Cool.
Yeah, so vacuum pump is up at the sugar house. So it's a 4-inch vacuum line coming down here, 2 2-inch pump lines, and we got 2 1.5-inch lines that we circulate water through a heat exchanger down here to get colder water for our plate coolers on the ROs.
I got you. I saw those up there.
Yeah.
That's a big line there. That's 3.
Vacuum line.
Is that 3 or 4?
4.
Did you have to unroll that sucker or did you weld it?
It's welded. 4-inch comes in straight stiff.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun to unroll it, so that makes sense.
It wouldn't.
All right. So this is the new.
Yep, this is the new releaser.
And it's mechanical
Yep.
as opposed to. So how does it work that you got high vac and you don't have a pump trying to fight vacuum?
Right.
That's what it makes it attractive.
That's why it was attractive to us. I believe it's more marketed in Canada for people that don't have a lot of electricity available at their pump stations.
Gotcha.
But we're hoping that we get rid of all the issues with electric releasers, having to clean the pumps, struggling under high vacuum.
That's a good point. I see what you're saying. Those screens on those submersible pumps always get plugged.
Always plug up.
All right. So you won't have the headaches of having a pump to maintain, but you will lose a little bit of vacuum.
There's a little bit, yep.
So how does it work? Does it let vacuum in so it'll dump?
Yep.
Because if you don't let ambient air in,
Right.
it won't dump.
Right. Yeah. So, there's 4 valves, 2 on each chamber. So when it triggers, one valve opens up, lets air in, and stops the vacuum. They go in there's a
sequence.
Choreographed sequence.
Does when the one opens, does that, you know how like sometimes when you have sap under vacuum and you open a valve and it goes boom, it like moves?
Yeah.
Does it do that?
Not that bad.
Okay.
No.
But it does have a little bit of a surge.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It loses all the vacuum.
So one valve is closing off the vacuum.
Yeah.
The other one's going to let air in so it can
Yeah.
dump. All right.
And at the same time, the other chamber is doing the same thing.
I got you.
And we're not that worried about the vacuum loss because we got a big vacuum pump, we got 4-inch vacuum line, a lot of 3-inch pipe. There's a lot of space for vacuum before we even get to.
What about like, I know like even with check spouts, like let's say somebody has a check spout adapter. I know when those first came out, people were talking about how the mechanical releasers, when they would dump,
Right.
that check ball would move, which means you're going to get a little bit of that sap back into your tap hole, which would, cause some contamination. Does this avoid that back surge into the tap hole?
I don't think so.
So it works like a mechanical releaser in that regard.
It is a mechanical releaser.
Gotcha.
We're not concerned about that here. We got a few taps right out here. But other than that, the first taps of significance are over 1,000 feet up the hill. There's only a couple hundred right nearby.
Are you saying that just the local ones here might see that or be affected by it?
I think there's just so much capacity in the 3-inch pipe. I don't think we're going to see that.
It's minuscule.
Further up. I haven't gone to see it to check on that on a good run.
Because the only thing that I'm thinking is maybe an additional tank
Yeah.
that you could put on this, like how with air compressors we end up with surge tanks or volume tanks.
Right.
I wonder if you could do the same thing here where you're one more choreographed, like add vacuum back into the chamber before you open it. But that's a whole nother step.
Yeah, it is. It gets rid of the simplicity.
Right. Well, leave it to me to make things hard.
Well, something we may also try. We may end up putting just one external electric pump on this. And it keeps up for as long as it keeps up, and you get a hard run, and
Let her dump.
it dumps. But
I gotcha. So this is new.
keep up fine.
So there's a choreographed dance between the vacuum chamber and an air release.
Yeah.
So it looks like on top of that, it's the Belimo valve.
Yeah.
Is there a check valve in that thing?
Up here?
Yeah.
No.
It's just
That's
a.
a vent.
Is it pretty loud when it dumps?
Yeah. I think I can make it go. Of course, we got no sap running.
Right. Oh yeah. Chris, this is awesome, man. Thank you.
So we're seeing how it goes.
I missed the dance.
Yeah.
There's the dance.
Yeah.
Little bang there, little bang.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're not certain we're gonna love it, but
Trying it.
we're trying it.
Thank you for being guinea pigs for the rest of us.
Yeah, Glenn loves to experiment and try stuff. So.
Then you got another level sensor down here.
Yep. Yep. And there's a See the tubing 5/16 going into the intake man.
I do see that.
Yeah, goes to the sensors outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
To give you the range.
Well,
Cool.
mostly so it can be in the sun.
Oh, yeah, for the battery.
Yeah.
I noticed the ones, don't they last like 2 or 3
They
years?
last quite a while.
Even without sun, they last a long time.
Yeah.
Because I noticed your tank level sensors in the,
Right. So what we'll do after the season,
we'll stick them in the sun.
yeah, we'll just stick them outside for a week or two.
Yeah. It's better than pointing a flashlight at it during the season.
Yeah, I don't think that's very effective.
Okay, this is what you cool your concentrate down with before. This is the water source
Just
for what you cool your concentrate.
right. So later in the season, when we start to get warmer sap, it becomes more critical. So this tank will be fed with runoff meltwater,
Sure.
which is very cold.
Like 32.1.
Yeah, it's very cold. And then we cycle spring water through this. It gets cooled down here with the constant flow of meltwater.
So you have a closed loop of spring water that
Yep.
constantly feeds back
Yep.
down here.
Yeah, so this is coming down here and then back up to the plate coolers up there.
Gotcha.
And I don't know exactly what it takes off for temperature.
But it does save you on the energy bill for
Oh, yeah.
for your bulk
Yep.
milk tank.
Yep, for sure.
You
Yep.
could almost run this. I mean, you guys run your concentrate kind of slushy. Do you get it down to a little slushy?
No.
What do you take it to?
Usually 35.
Okay.
35 to 37.
I got you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if there's much benefit in going colder than that.
Yeah, interesting. I just want it to look like a margarita. That's why. That's why. It just reminds me of one.
So the 2 3-inch pipes out back here, they run for, I think our furthest tap back on this system is about 17,000 feet away
Oh my gosh.
from here.
One's a wet, one's a dry.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's,
3-inch.
is that 3?
Yeah, 3-inch.
And then for the most part, a lot of what you do now is 4. Or you have a 1 4 and 1 3 I saw on the backside of the mountain there.
Yeah, at our main station, we got 4-inch vacuum, 3-inch liquid.
Gotcha.
Putting a few more taps in.
Hey, did you see that? Did you see what happened when I got off the path there?
Yeah.
I dropped down.
It's still,
How much snow are we walking on?
oh, there's probably 2 feet here.
I got
And
you.
this is the least we got anyway. Yeah, we still got 5 or 6 feet of snow up on our north slopes.
Insane.
Yeah. Anybody who says more snow helps sugaring season's never been up here.
Tell them to shut up. Did you hit the ice? I just want to document what occurred here. Did you jump down onto the ice?
I landed here, and then I think I stepped right there, went down.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Big B went down. Yeah. I'm just mad I didn't get it on camera.
I'm not.
Listen, if I fall, I'm putting it on there. Still making soup. So is it filling right now?
Yep.
You're not nervous?
That corner goes over first. Got plenty.
Oh, I got it at an angle. Wow.
We got plenty of room. Ain't bad.
Not bad.
Go
Nice.
for a ride, come back,
On the money.
get a couple barrels.
Cool.
This is the best part.
Pumping it over.
Sending the syrup over.
All right. So he's sending syrup over. Overhead. To the equilibrium tank.
GPS signal.
You didn't check if the valve was closed, huh? Is there a valve on the bottom of this guy too? Oh, I got you. Yeah, I like that. That's a little maple farmer ingenuity right there, buddy. So you're filling her.
That's good.
Oh, yeah, it smells good. Cool. Yes. So some Cabot cheese.
Cabot cheese.
Oh, man. This stuff is so good. Even on a cheeseburger, I love this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Cabot cheese. White cheddar.
I know you got plenty of content.
What do you got?
That's one of the automatic DE adding machine. So we just constantly are cycling DE into that tank.
Little auger.
Yep. Basically takes half a guy's job away.
Puts it. No kidding.
Yeah.
So as you're filling this tank, the syrup, and you probably control that speed.
Yep. Yeah, and if we're made to run 2 presses, 3 presses, whatever.
You know, I have no idea how a filter press works, and I don't think anyone else does either. But do you guys
Syrup goes in, clean syrup comes out.
do you surge more DE at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever
We call it charging the filter
yeah,
press.
charge it. Yeah. Whenever we start up a new press, we charge it up.
Gotcha.
Dose it up extra heavy, and then this is just putting that constant cycle in to just keep some in it.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So before we fire up a press, we'll throw in 6 or 8 scoops.
Gotcha. All right. Truck chat with Nate and Danny.
Yep.
But we're not in a truck.
No.
It's loner chat with Nate and Dan. Cruising around the hills of Vermont. Just some housekeeping items, things to talk about. When companies like mine pay people to buy syrup for us, we trust them to grade appropriately. And if I ever found out that somebody was grading syrup one way to the farmer and then getting paid prime from us, I think we'd do more and fire them. I think there'd be a visit, and I know none of my syrup buyers are doing that, but I am hearing of some syrup buyers that are doing that for another packer. And first of all, shame on you. And I'm angry. I'm not even the person selling my syrup, but it's hard to make syrup, man. And if someone's taking advantage of a packer that maybe grades easy, and then grading more difficult with the farmer, and then making money, you're already getting paid to buy syrup. But man, you can make a lot of money by grading more difficult and then send it to a packer that grades easy. And it's going on. It's not even a question. And we won't do that to you. And buying syrup is sales. Even though I'm the customer and the farmers are the supplier, it's a sales job. And you can sell syrup to people or buy syrup from people. So sales, there's lots of ways to sell things. You can sell things by being the cheapest. You can sell people by being the best, the highest. I'm talking not Maple, but I'm talking any company. So if, as a maple syrup packager, I do not want to be the cheapest maple syrup packager, because they tend to attract the same type of customer. And you think of like value discount stores, there's a lot of these fleet farms out there that every year they ask me to bid in the business, and I'm like, no way. Like, you currently have the cheapest maple farmer packer on the market, and you're too stupid to even know that that's the case, and you actually put it up for bid. So that's the type of company you're working with. I'm thankful for the cheapest. Now, when it comes to buying syrup, you can buy syrup based on relationship. You're providing something more than just money. either a loan to buy equipment, supplying equipment, just friendship. Don't want to discount that. Different terms. I mean, there's some companies that borrow money from the bank and they pay immediately but pay the least. And then there's some companies that would rather give the interest payment to the farmer and pay a little bit more to the farmer with terms. So buying syrup is not just about getting cash with every packer. Buying syrup sometimes is about terms more than price. And that's important. For a company that's growing like us, if it wasn't for farmers we partner with, we couldn't grow like we're growing. So we have great cash flow, we're profitable, but what happens is as you grow fast, all of that profit that you use, unless you have good partnerships, gets sucked up with growth. And you can borrow money to do it, but banks will only lend you based on what you did last year. They do not lend you money based on future earnings that are unproven, even if it's a great supplier. That's where like private equity come in, or investors. But for the most part, we're growing with the help of farmers. And I think some farmers see that there is a need for more packers, more competition in the regions. There's no such thing as territories. It's a made-up thing that people tell themselves, like whose turf you're on and all that. Like, no, like there's no rules, and it's an infinite game. So if somebody has a region locked up, that's in their head. They've in their head said, I've got it locked up. Another thing I heard recently with some farmers that went into one of our syrup buyers and said, hey, I'd sell you my syrup, but my equipment vendor said if I sell you the syrup, he won't service my equipment. What the frick? That's like blackmail. That's like using fear. And it's been effective in certain areas of this country to use fear to get the farmers to do what they want, what you want them to. And I'm all about liberty, freedom, having the right to choose, and using fear is not a good long-term strategy. Eventually, somebody will come along and say, hey, I don't care who you sell your syrup to, but I'll service the equipment you buy. Like, you're going to lose long-term if your method is based on the ignorance of the farmers. But, I don't know, a little bit of soapbox chat that may not even make it. May not even mix. Sometimes Jacob will put it in there. Sometimes he's like, nah, no one cares, Nate. Which, sometimes no one cares.
One of your buddies, Glenn. This is one of your buddies, Glenn. He's an Eden, Vermont ladybug, and he's hoping to hitch a ride back to Ohio. I don't blame him.